Welcome back, everybody, to Extraordinary Critic. My name is Brandon Taylor, and if you're here today, then you are here to hear me talk about The Penguin. This show, I got a lot to talk about with this show, but I'm very, very excited. So if you're here today, grab a snack, tune in, relax, and I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go. So let's talk about The Penguin. I'm very, very excited to talk about this show. I've been waiting to talk about this show ever since it ended. I wanted to talk about it sooner, but I was going to do like each episode that came out, but I decided to finish the whole series and just talk about the whole thing. So what is The Penguins about? So it is the spin-off show off the movie The Batman that came out 2022, Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves' Batman. And this is about the Penguin, Oz Cobb. It's not Cobblepot, it's Oz Cobb. And he was the side character in the Batman movie, The Penguin. He was the side character. Not the main villain, but he was a side character. And it's played by Colin Farrell. And you would not tell with this makeup. This makeup here is amazing. From the Batman movie to the Penguin, and the performance behind Colin Farrell, you just really get sucked in, and you just see the Penguin all the time. So what is the show is about? So it's about the rise of the Penguin, Oz Cobb, and it takes place after the Batman movie. So if you saw the Batman 2022 movie, then you know at the end of the movie, Gotham was flooded. The Riddler flood the streets. Literally, he bombed all over Gotham and flooded the streets, and they still feel the effects of the flood. So in story-wise, this takes place a week after the Batman the movie. So we pick up right back off where we left off, and the Batman is not in this show at all. They don't mention anything about Bruce Wayne, nothing. This is about criminals in Gotham. And me being a huge Batman fan that I really am, I'm really glad they did this, because I've always been interested in the gangsters in Gotham, always. That's to me, the best aspects of the Batman universe are the criminals that shape Gotham the way it is, and the reason why Bruce Wayne does what he does. So in here, in the Penguin, we follow Oz Cobb, and it's not like the Joker at all. It's not like the movie The Joker, where we follow this depressed, lunatic that turns into the Joker. No. We're following a guy who's born for this lifestyle. He's trying to get the rise to the top. He wants to be the king of Gotham, but he knows he has to get rid of certain competition that's gonna really, really be a problem for him. So he really is a two-face. Oz Cobb in this show right here is a very, very interesting villain. Like overall, like this guy is not. I did not like this character at all. This guy right here is a backstabber. You just know he's a snake. You know he's gonna do people dirty. Even I don't like the people he do dirty to. I don't like them either, because they're not good people. They're gangsters too. But they at least have a code. Oz Cobb here don't have a code. This man just does what he wants. He does what he needs to do in order to be successful and accomplish his goal, and that's to be the king of Gotham. And if you guys, all the Batman fans out there, if you know anything about the Penguin, the comics and other versions, you know the Penguin, he came from a rich family, kind of like equal to the Wayne family. They were really powerful, but not as powerful as the Waynes, but they're kind of close to him. And he became the biggest arms dealer in Gotham. He made a whole bunch of money, and yeah, he's not like a super villain. He's just a criminal mastermind. So in this show right here, it really it's not like that. It's not the same storyline. He comes from a poor family, and Crown's Point is where the Penguin is from. Oz is from, and so the show overall is a great show, like hands down. It's very tight, very, very, very tight show. And what they do with the story here is that they have certain characters in the show that are introduced, like this guy named Victor, the teenager that Oz takes in as like a protege, like an apprentice or something like that, and he trying to teach him the ropes of the game and how the things work and stuff. And Victor's a great kid, and it's not like Victor is like he chose his life. Like, he was forced into his lifestyle based on how they meet. And if you watch the show, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like I said, everybody's desperate to make money because they have nothing, because like the floods like destroyed everything. Like, now Gotham is really a dirty city. It's not the Gotham you see in the Batman in 2022. No, this city right here it's just dirty. It's filthy. You got so many more criminals and riots happening now, and that's why Oscorp, he decided to be king in Gotham, because he know he can use that to his advantage. So yeah, so this show right here, man, is just top-notch acting. It's really a crime drama show. It's not a superhero show. It is in the Batman universe. And you know, while I was watching this show, I kept forgetting about the Batman. Really, I kept forgetting that we're in Gotham. I kept forgetting that this is a Batman universe. I kept forgetting about Bruce Wayne and stuff like that, because if you have a show like they use, what the Penguin does is what Gotham was trying to do. If you ever seen Gotham and the Gotham show, that's what they were trying to do, and it didn't do very well. But the Penguin here is very grounded, very hardcore, very violent, very foul language, and these characters are just so evil, man, to the point where it's like, God, I just can't wait for the second Batman where they just beat all y'all up. And even though Colin Farrell did a great job, and the Penguin is like the character, the MVP of this show right here has to be Sophia. I forgot what the actress name is, but I seen her a bunch of stuff. This actress, I seen her in the Wolf of Wall Street. She was the first wife of Jordan Belfort, before he went to Margot Robbie, whatever the other actress name. She was the first wife in that movie. That's where I recognize her from. But I heard she was in How I Met Your Mother and other stuff too. So, but in this show right here, Sophia is the MVP of this show, man. She has a very sympathetic storyline that you was like, golly. And so many twists and turns with the show and the storyline. The showrunners and the writers, what they do is they'll present you with the story. You'll think that's what happens to them, but then it's a background story that they'll show, and it's far from the truth. And once you find out what the truth really is, you're like, wow. Now you see these characters in a different light, and that's the difference between the first half of the season than the second half. And I think the second half is much better than the first half, because the first half, what it does is it takes the time to build this criminal world aspects. And once the 5th episode is done, when we get to 6, 7, and 8, they show you story. Okay, so what I mean by twists and turns with storylines is that when Sophia is really presented or introduced in the first episode, we think that she's some psychotic killer that just killed a whole bunch of women and is out of Arkham. But when you get to a story, when you get to the 4th episode about her, you realize that that's far from the truth. That something else was going on, and she was caught in a bad place. She was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she had to suffer the consequences for it. And it was really, really unfortunate for her, and it made her who she was. And like I said, that's why I think she's so sympathetic, because it's like, dang, it's like she was so done wrong. Now, someone like Oz, on the other hand, you think, because I'm glad too they didn't do it. I'm glad they didn't make Oz an anti-hero, because that would have been bad if he just killed criminals because they were criminals, even though he's not a good guy himself, like an Omar Little from The Wire. I'm glad they didn't do that. No, what they do here is they make him a villain. They make him the villain that makes you hate him. And it's something going on with his backstory where he just tells bits and pieces of that. A little spoiler here, but he had 2 brothers and they died. In the first half of the season, you thinking that they died because they got to an accident or something like that. Like, we don't really know what happened to his brothers, but we thinking that he loved his brothers, and something tragic happened to them, and he has to move on, and just him and his mother. But I'm gonna get to a little bit about his mother too. But then you get the second half of the season, you figure that that's far from the truth. That what happened to them wasn't an accident. It was really brutal and cold what happened to these kids, and that this family was really toxic and really damaged from the get-go, and it's all because of Oz. So stuff like that, the writing aspect of it was really brilliant. I really loved the mother, Oz's mom, in this movie. She has a really good storyline, especially in the second half of the season. So in the first half, we thinking that she's sick, and we thinking that something's wrong with her, and part of that is true. But then we get to the second half of the season, and the truth comes out about who she really is and how she really feels about Oz. And when we get to that aspect, you're like, whoa, that was really dark. And like I said, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But man, the twists and turns in this show, man, that's what really made this show what it is. This show is really good, man. I'm telling you guys, you have to watch this. And one storyline that really stuck with me was the brothers, because it was really cold what happened to them. And then to come to find out that you think that this person doesn't know, but they knew the whole time, and they decided to, like, they was going to do something about it, but then it's like they decided to, like, make the deal with the devil in order to, you know, have a satisfying life, because they're poor. And I was like, man, that's really dark. And like I said, if you watch the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've seen the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And Oz, like I said, Oz Cobb, the Penguin, the main character, is the villain of all villains. And everybody, you know, and all Batman fans, we talk about the same villains all the time. We already know, we talk about the Joker. The Joker is the best villain. All comic book, Marvel and DC, all comic book villains combined, Joker is, to me, the number one. He is the main villain. He's the villain of all villains. Like, Darkseid ain't got nothing on the Joker, because even though, of course, the Darkseid is like more powerful, but psychologically and, you know, mental aspect to all things, the Joker is like the number one villain. He's evil of all evil. So we always talk about those main characters, and you know, thank God, I'm really getting sick and tired of talking about the Joker. Even though I love the Joker myself, it's other Batman villains they're good as well. And that's why I really liked about the Penguins, that they made this Penguin right here a really bad villain. Like, he's really terrible person. Like, by the end you done watching the Penguin, you want to kill him. You hate him. You can't wait for the second Batman to come out and watch Robert Pattinson as the Batman beat the crap out of this guy. That's how bad this guy is in this show. And thank God they did that. They made him a villain, but they also made him an interesting and complicated person, which makes great villains great. You gotta make them complicated. You can't make them one-dimensional and two-dimensional. You have to make them, you gotta give them depth. And that's what they did with this character. And that's what I really love about this show. I can't believe I followed a psychopath. And that's what I really liked. Like, this guy in the first half of the season, you understand where he comes from. You know, he grew up in this tough environment. He feels like in order to survive, he has to do what he does in order to get ahead in this world. You know, because nothing's handed to you. You gotta take it, and you get that. You're like, okay, I understand that. But then we get the second half of the series, and you realize, like, man, this guy's really a piece of crap. Like, he's really ruthless. And he did something else that was ruthless too. Like, he committed a murder that was so brutal. I was like, yo, I did not expect him to do all of this. Like, you know, like, I get it, they were trying to kill him too, but the way he killed those two people, it was really brutal. And the way he was looking at them as he was, like, killing them, yeah, that was crazy. It was episode 5 too. It was like, man, the way he killed those two people, I can't blame the other people wanting to kill him as well. Like, that's how complicated this character is. You know, you just have mixed feelings in the first half of the season, but then you get the second half, you're like, you know, I hate this guy, and he's a sick psychopath, and he has mommy issues, and I can't wait for Batman to beat him up. Like, for real. So yeah, so I'm gonna give The Penguin a 9.5 out of 10. It's a great crime drama thriller, which that's my favorite genre of movies and television. I love the gangster stories and stuff like that, and that's what they do here. And like I said, Gotham, like Batman and the gangster aspect of the Batman are my favorite parts of the Batman stories. You know, not the super villains with the superpowers and stuff. Like, no, I like the gangster aspect too. The Mask of the Phantasm, I love that movie because it's a gangster story. It's a mystery, but it's also involved gangsters, which I love, because what makes Batman so interesting as a character is people like Oscorp and these criminals, because they are connected to the Wayne family and the corruption in Gotham, which makes Bruce Wayne become Batman to stop the corruption. But he figures that it's so much deeper than it goes, because of these gangsters, how powerful they are in Gotham. And it takes a mental toll on the Batman, because no matter how bad he beats them up, no matter how he breaks their bones, how much he does damage to them, it's always the corruption. And that's the reason why, especially the Batman movie, the corruption in Gotham, it's the reason why these villains are created. And that's what makes Batman villains the best villains of all superhero villains, because the gangsters who corrupt the politicians and the cops is the reason why these villains are created, because the villains, before they became villains, they were made because of the corruption. So that's what makes like these stories so interesting. That's why I love them so much, and that's why Batman is really a popular character, because of these aspects and these storylines. But overall, I know I'm talking too much, but The Penguin, it's a great show. Watch it. It's on HBO Max. Give it a watch. 8 episodes. They're like an hour. They're like an hour or 50 minutes. And yeah, man, it's a really great show. But overall, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching this. Please like and subscribe. Share this with everybody. Support this channel as much as you can. I'll be back with more videos. Guys, be safe out there. Have a great night. I'll see you later.